to say welcome to Home and Family. It's Wednesday.
I am so happy to hear you say welcome to Home and Family. It is nice to be back together again.
I know, honey. It was so, I miss everybody when I go away. I was only gone a day.
It didn't seem like you missed us. You were having such a great time with your family.
I had a very short honey-do list. We went grocery shopping. Well, first we went out to lunch, so we had a nice lunch with the family. And then we did some grocery shopping. And really the only thing on the honey-do list, Parker was all strapped in. She was precious cargo. We put up our first baby gate because she is so close to crawling. Crawling. Yeah, crawling. Boop, boop, boop. And then, so we gotta contain that little gal.
Let me tell you, as soon as she starts crawling, she'll start walking. And then the crawling lasts about a week, and then they start grabbing, and they're...
The second thing is to lower the crib. You have to lower the mattress.
Oh, that's right.
Do that. Remember that?
Oh my gosh, it seems like it was a lifetime ago. And it was just,
that's the next thing on the list as well, which I'll get to.
And by the way, that photo of her, she's like a little supermodel.
She's just so sweet.
She's beautiful.
Thank goodness she looks like her mother.
Look at that. Stop it, Mark. Look at that.
Mom.
She looks just like you. Well, listen, everybody, we have a great show for everyone today. It's actually a bit regal.
Oh.
It's true, so sit up straight. Sit up. In just a few minutes, Joy Lenz from Royal Matchmaker is joining us. And our very good friend John Corbett is also stopping by. He has a new movie out that he wants to tell us all about. But he also has a very crazy connection to the king himself, Elvis.
Oh, I thought you meant royal. I was going in the other direction. Okay, the king. We also have the king of ice here with us today. Olympic champion Scott Hamilton is going to stop by. He's going to show us a couple things. He's going to tell us how we need to stop settling for mediocre and go for gold in life. I
like it. I like his message. Then it's time to eat like kings. Mark, I am making the ultimate stuffed artichoke filled with lamb and feta cheese and all these delicious breadcrumbs and Parmesan on top. I've been developing this recipe for weeks, and I promise you'll be begging for seconds.
I got questions about the artichoke, how to eat all that stuff.
Artichoke's difficult.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that.
It's persnickety.
But it's good.
It's a difficult vegetable, but it's delicious.
I feel like I'm missing out because I don't indulge so much because
they're hard to cook, but they're once you get it down.
Speaking of missing out, Larissa is missing out today, or we shall say we're missing out on her because she's not here, but we still have a great adoption in store for you. Joining us from Hope Rescue in Houston, Texas is Maria Hinojosa. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi, Maria.
Fine. How are y'all? Mark and Debbie, I love your show.
Oh, thank you
so much. Who is that cutie pie with you?
This is Rosie. She's a Chiweenie, which is part Dachshund and part Chihuahua. We're guessing she's about 4 years old.
Oh.
And
she's adorable.
She's a little love bug. She loves all adults, kids, other dogs, and she's looking for her forever home.
Well,
you can see her at homelesspets.net or Hope Pets on social media.
Gosh, stop. What kind of home would she be good in?
Oh, any home. If it's a senior person, she loves to sit in your lap and cuddle. If she's with children, she loves to play. She's just really a wonderful dog. I'm not just saying that just because she's my rescue.
She's so cute.
She's a wonderful
Why hasn't she been picked up already? I feel like
I'm thinking I got her right before Harvey hit in Houston, and so there was a lot of dogs in dire need, and then a lot of people displaced from their homes. So I'm thinking that's part of the problem why she hadn't been adopted yet.
Yeah, well, she's going to find a wonderful home, and we are going to do everything we possibly can.
That's right.
Thrilled to be partnering up with shelters all across the country, like Hope Rescue, to find every animal a forever home as part of our Adoption Ever After. Maria, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And I would like to remind everybody, if you are in the Houston area and would like to adopt Rosie, she needs a home. So head to homelesspets.net.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Rosie. I hope somebody scoops her up. She's adorable. All right, I would like to remind everyone at home to head on over to HallmarkChannel.com because this is the last chance you will have to fill out your Merry Madness Christmas bracket before it closes tomorrow. So you definitely want to enter for a chance to win.
That went fast.
How much? What is the grand prize, Mark?
$10,000. I can't believe how fast that went.
I know.
So, all right, well, look, for those of you who have filled out the bracket, the fun continues on Monday, the 26th of March. It's this coming Monday, when the results from the first round will be posted online, and you can follow along at home. And I know, I want to see what happens, because, we picked ours, but we can't play.
I can't wait to see how much I beat you by. It's going to be very exciting.
And we're back. Wow.
Meanwhile, Ken is at our mailbox wall. Who sent you mail, Ken?
I'll save you, Mark. I'll save you.
Thank you.
So I got a message from one of our viewers a little while ago. I wanted to share with you. I love getting mail, as you all know. It came from Kimberly Snipes Holmes in Moultrie, Georgia, not too far from where my mom lives. Dear Ken, I love all your DIYs, and I look forward to what you come up with. Here's my challenge. She knows I love a challenge. I have a collection of mismatched teacups, and I don't know what to do with them. Any ideas? So I messaged her back, and we sort of went back and forth. She wanted to create some sort of wall-hanging wreath type thing, but had no idea how to do it. So I went out, fetched a bunch of teacups, and I came up with a nice little surprise for Kimberly. I'm going to be making a teacup wreath. Kimberly, stay tuned. I hope you'll like it. I think you will. Please keep sending us your questions, your thoughts, either Facebook page, write us a letter. As you can see, they actually inspire us with our DIYs. We very much appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ken. All right, so how do we introduce our next guest? She's an actress. She's a singer.
Yes.
She's a songwriter.
Sure.
She's an artist.
Correct.
She is an astronaut.
Astronaut, yes. Don't leave that off the
She
list.
does underwater, I think,
Art.
art, underwater art.
Underwater art.
Yeah.
She does a lot of
She does
good
it
at
all,
that.
and she also happens.
actually underwater.
She also
That's
happens
funny.
to star in Hallmark Channel's movie Royal Matchmaker. Please welcome back the incredible, the incomparable Joy Lenz. Philanthropist, all around great gal.
Animal lover.
Animal
we could just keep
lover.
going on and on.
Yes, I do love.
You do so many things. I mean,
Yeah.
wow. And yet
I
focused.
don't do math.
You don't do math.
Or windows.
Really bad at
Or-
math. I don't do windows, darling. No.
So you are a matchmaker. You're matchmaker Kate
Yes,
in this.
Kate
and
Gleason.
and your Will Kemp's character, he's a Prince Sebastian. Doesn't really, he's still kind of the guy about town.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
really
he's a
looking
playboy,
for
yeah.
But you're sent in to find him his forever.
To find him his match, yeah.
His forever match.
Yes, forever match.
Yeah.
The king is sort of fed up with all of his shenanigans, and he says it's about time. We need to, you got to start thinking about the future of the kingdom and settle
Right.
down. So he hires me, and so I come in with my assistant. We're flown into the kingdom of Moldova and Moldavia,
Oh,
whatever
lovely.
it ended up being, and I meet him and have to sort of convince him to go along with this whole matchmaking scheme, which of course he's very skeptical.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kate gets more than she bargained for. Her heart also opens up, and I believe she might be the forever one.
You don't say. No. Yes.
Wait, does she have a hardened heart?
I think Kate's gotten to a place where she is great at doing this for everybody else, but when it comes to herself, she's like, nope, you know what? I'm good. I'm happy. I'm
Right.
my business. And she does, and she's super thrilled, which is, I think, why it was such a surprise to her, because, often love comes along when you least expect it.
Sure.
Exactly.
Especially when you're around a prince.
Well,
How
I'd
convenient.
probably be a little
Hard to
easier
resist.
for the
Hard to
lover.
resist
You're
a
not
prince.
kidding. Well, we have a clip of your very first meeting, which is a little bumpy. It doesn't go quite as smoothly as you'd want it to go when you're meeting a prince.
Yeah, he's not aware that I'm showing up, so
No.
it's a...
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's take a look.
And you are?
I'm your royal matchmaker.
Miss Gleason is something of an expert in the world of romance. Some even call her the Queen of Hearts. I've hired her to help you on your quest.
Quest. And what would that be?
Finding you the love of your life.
Perhaps I should leave you two to get acquainted.
No.
Stay, please.
No, not at all. I believe you both have your work cut out for you.
Oh boy. This is the first you're hearing about me.
Yes, if nothing else, your perception is spot on. If my instinct is correct, there's nothing I can do about it.
Do I sense a note of resistance?
A note more like a symphony. So, first things first, shall I call you Miss Gleason, or would you prefer Queen of Hearts?
Well, Queen's a little stuffy. Why don't you call me Kate? What can I call you?
Your Highness will do nicely.
Wow.
He's really warm and fuzzy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while.
A little prickly.
while.
Here's what I can tell. Powers of observation. I can tell that it's a very a very expensive production because of the amount of echo that was in the room.
No, it's a big room.
Like, were you in a castle?
We were in a real castle.
You were in a real...
Yeah, we filmed it actually in the president's home, and like one of his family homes, and we also filmed in. Oh yeah, there it is.
Wow.
I mean, you just can't make up. Like,
so that's not a set.
No,
somebody lives
it's
there.
not a set.
Somebody
That's
actually
real.
lives there.
It's become a museum now, so they actually give tours and things. But this is
And the location was Romania?
In Romania. We were in Bucharest, and then off a lot of the actors for the castle were in a town called Sinaia, which is a little mountain ski town about 2 hours north. Oh, look there! It looks like Winterfell, doesn't it?
This is a fairy tale waiting to happen.
It's unbelievable.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, how long did you spend there?
It was about a month.
Oh, how lovely.
And I brought my daughter, and she just it was a total magical time. I was like, Maria, do you want to go do your homework in a castle for the next month?
Yes. I mean, who wouldn't want that? That would be fantastic.
Wow.
So, you know, with all things royal, people are obsessed, and we have been obsessed for years. I mean, back from Princess Diana, I remember watching that on TV with my family and like crying.
Too.
And now Kate Middleton, and now Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. What do you think it is about the royals that keeps us so fascinated?
Oh, gee, I mean, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a break from the norm. I mean, it's certainly not anything you and I encounter on a day-to-day basis. So anything that is so fancy and so it's ancient. I mean, the monarchies there's something that is so exciting about connecting with history that is continuing down that line, and you know the like these houses that we're talking about, palaces, the architecture, I just think there's something about the history of it in the fairy tale that's so
the fairy tale for sure, especially lately, because Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton were just normal girls,
right?
They weren't. I mean, so that really
it's
is like
Cinderella story.
Truly, I mean, it could actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, she's from the Valley, right? Like Meghan Markle, like, hey, she is.
Hey, you're not kidding.
And then you take your daughter to a castle to do homework. She's already planted the seed in her head, like she could be the next queen.
That's right. That was my dream when I was a kid. I wanted to be the Queen of England. So
yes.
Not too late. Is there another one you can marry?
I know, right?
There's got to be another one.
I do know a dream of yours was actually to be Cinderella, which came true. Yeah, you actually played Cinderella.
I did it. I made a high school production, but yeah, it was great. I got to play Cinderella opposite a boy I totally had a crush on, which was
wait, how old were you
so
then?
Fun. I guess I was 16 or 17. Yeah. Old Rodgers and Hammerstein, you know.
Wow. Well, thanks to the royal archivists in your castle of your hometown, your mother and father is who I speak of. They were so wonderful.
We
called we like to call them royal archivists.
Of course, as all parents should.
They have been so lovely, exactly, to keepeth of your playeth, and they've sent it to us so we could show the world.
We
You ready for this?
Fingers,
oh my gosh!
Take a look.
Okay.
Even then, you were destined to be a royal.
You knew it. Was that
fun?
Was that the crush in that show?
Yeah, Brian Lyman. I remember. You know what? Because I had a really fascination, a huge crush on John Malkovich when I was in high school, and for some reason he reminded me of her.
Oh,
I mean, he reminded me of him.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
So I don't know. I was like into Brian Lyman at that year.
Touch at all? Do you
Brian Lyman?
No, he's probably married with kids, and I'm sure he's
Brian Lyman, if you're watching,
right.
Joy Lenz is here. Come on, we'll do a reunion on the show.
Oh God,
Thursday on Home and Family.
Do not miss Brian. No, do not miss the premiere of Royal Matchmaker Saturday 9/8 Central, right here on Hallmark Channel. You really have to get your parents' number unlisted so we can track them down.
Yeah. Your parents are probably looking up Brian Lyman as we speak.
Oh my
Check out Joy's social media as well. There's a lot of wonderful stuff on there. Maybe Brian. Pictures of Brian on there? No?
No, definitely not.
All right. Don't go away. We have a fantastic show waiting for you. In fact, Joy, pay attention to this, because Kim is inspired by all things that's royal today as well.
Because of you.
Kim?
That's right, Mark. You know, I have got some great ideas giving your beauty routines the royal treatment, and I went all the way back for generations to get beauty secrets from all the royals, including this.
Nice.
Fancy.
She's good friends with Kate Middleton.
Excellent.
The next celebrity chef, Artie Sequeira, is in our kitchen, and she is satisfying our sweet tooth. Hi, Chef.
Hello. So I'm showing you my twist on an American classic bread pudding with a secret ingredient that I'm not going to tell you until you come right back. So stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. You know her as a judge on Guy's Grocery Games, Cutthroat Kitchen, and Chopped. I don't know how she has any time to even come here today. Today she is here to make coconut cashew bread pudding for us.
Yes.
Please welcome back to our home one of our very favorites, Artie Sequeira. And since this is a dessert made for a queen, we've invited Joy to stay and have some of this. And always royalty like about his new movie. But first, we're going to feed you.
Okay. Yes.
So you guys dig in. All right. So bread pudding
And they're
has
on.
a different name in
I
your
love how
family.
they just they're done.
You don't have to tell them twice. They go straight in. So we call this bread pudding.
Yes.
Your family calls it something else.
So in my family, my husband and my kids, we call this Huggy Buggy bread pudding.
Why Huggy Buggy?
Well, because my husband is like a big old hippie, and he will hug anybody. To the point where when he was little, he was this small, he had blonde hair, and he had a grandpa who they called Grumpy Grandpa.
Oh.
And they went to go visit him in the hospital, and Bren gave him a hug, and he was like, "What'd you do that for, kid?" You know. And he was like, "'Cause I'm a Huggy Buggy," and it just stuck. I know. And then now I have like 2 Huggy Buggy kids, so this is named for him because one of his favorite desserts is bread pudding.
And also, it's like a big hug.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. So my secret ingredient is this one. Would you mind pouring that in? It's coconut milk. How is it, guys?
Oh, that smells
good, right?
It's deceiving because it tastes just like ice cream.
It does.
Oh, yeah, that's because it is.
The underneath
That's because it is.
Underneath.
Well,
Yes,
it's bread
more.
pudding, but it tastes like Artie. It tastes like you.
Well, there's a reason
No, it
because
has
she also
that-
has some secret spices.
Yes, I
with
do.
it.
That's
So
what it
More
is.
coconut milk?
No, this is just regular milk. So the
Okay.
coconut milk is like a substitute for heavy cream.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
But
and
you want to get the full fat, correct?
full fat. The low fat stuff, first of all, doesn't have enough fat, obviously, and it doesn't have enough flavor.
It really doesn't,
Yeah.
does it?
So you need all of those things. Now I'm going to add some spices.
Now, do you
Okay.
shake it up before you put it in
Yeah,
to make
shake
sure
it
you get
up.
all that good stuff?
Yeah, and if it's solidified, the cream on top, just scoop it all out, put it in the microwave, and whisk it together. It'll come back together. So this is ginger.
Oh, nice.
Ground ginger, just for that sort of gingerbready kind of flavor. This is cinnamon, nothing strange there.
No, but the
And
ginger's a nice
then
surprise in bread pudding.
This is my favorite, which is cardamom to the point.
That's what it is.
Yeah, do you taste it? So cardamom is not only used in Indian cooking for sweets, we use it in savory too, but in Swedish they use that
Yeah, they
in
do
their
a lot.
desserts a lot too. So I like it. Adds a little bit of like Bollywood to me.
That's right.
So a little
And it
salt.
always smells like Christmas to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't it smell
yeah.
like Christmas?
To me, it smells like princesses in Bollywood. Which, to my daughter, that's the same thing.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so now we've got. So that's the custard. You can see it's a lot of
Beautiful.
custard, so it stays nice and moist.
Nice.
My least favorite word. So this is bread.
But does it matter? Yeah, this is bread. Does
bread.
it matter what kind of bread we're using?
No, we're using baguette. So the cool thing about bread pudding is, do you want me to? I'll do this.
Sure. Oh, wait a minute. Are figs?
Yes. So we can toss them in. Put
After?
the figs in.
Put the figs in now?
Yeah, it's
so
fine.
how did you prepare the figs?
So I rehydrated these dried figs in hot water, but if you wanted to feel a little more sassy, you could do hot bourbon.
She doesn't. She's sassy enough.
It's just a little bit more. So then what you would do is you would let this sit here maybe for 20 minutes so it absorbs that
All of it.
custard.
Does it
right?
need to be stale, like day-old bread?
Old
It can't
bread.
be fresh
That's
bread.
the thing I love about it. It's one of the few cases where the older is the better.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's dry and it'll absorb all that custard, right? So now I'm going to be very
Oh,
careful and
beautiful.
graceful.
And yes.
And
So
this
we've
is
already
dish.
buttered the dish.
Yeah. And then the last 2 things, Debbie. I'm going to push back like this so I don't get it on me.
So here, you do that and
You
I'll
do
do
that,
this.
and then after
boy.
that, will you put some cashews on top?
Of course. Now tell me about the cashews. That's interesting.
So I love cashews. That we find them in Indian desserts a lot. They're super buttery and nutty, but you can use whatever you want. And then
boy.
the last
I'm
thing,
really Butterfingers over
I
here
know,
today.
it's okay. Speaking of, so I put these on top for a little crunch, okay, and use the toasted ones or toast them yourself, or they'll be too raw. And then,
But unsalted?
yeah, or salted is fine too. Salt in a sweet dish is great, and then I dot it with butter because that's like giving it kisses.
And is that what makes it crunchy?
That's what makes it crunchy, and that's the hug part of it.
Yes.
This is hugs and kisses.
It's like
I'm
great
a
big
full
love.
service station here, Mom. So then that goes into the oven. This is 350 oven.
For how long?
About 30 minutes. Do you want it?
No, you could do it. Go ahead.
I'll do it. Okay. And then
Oh, boy.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine. It's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Here we go. Oh, wait.
That is heavy.
It's hot. Ready? Ta-da!
That is beautiful. Okay. So that's a good lesson. Be careful when you're putting it in the oven. If you move too fast, it's going to spill.
Yes, you could actually put it on a baking.
Can you make it ahead of time and then reheat, right?
Yes.
How do you know when it's ready?
So there will be no jiggly bits in the middle. Technical term.
Okay, no jiggly bits.
No jiggly bits. And then, of course, like my mum says, there's nothing that can't be better without ice cream. So you put a little ice cream right on top.
And
Excuse
I love
my
the
fingers.
edges. No, it's
the edges are the best part, aren't they?
I'm sorry, Debbie, we don't have enough time for you to take.
But do you see that custard? It's amazing.
Wasn't it delicious, you guys?
I'm so glad you liked it, guys.
It's
I'm
a
so
perfect
excited.
meal for me too because I have brittle teeth and bones and can only eat soft
Oh,
food.
that's good. That's good.
So it's perfect for
glad
my
to know
meal.
And I just want to say this one thing, Mr. Corbett. I watched you when I grew up in Dubai. I watched you on Northern Exposure, and you were a DJ. And then when I went to university, I became a DJ.
No.
Oh my gosh! Wow! I did.
And I tried to be super deep like you were on that show. It didn't work.
For information on Artie, you can follow her on imdj.com. That's not true. At Artie Party Picks. At Artie, the information is at the bottom of your screen because it's spelled wonderful. Recipes also available by going to hallmarkchannel.com. Not true. John has strong bones and teeth. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to come right back. Kim, not so much.
I do. I do. I swear I do. And we go from the Princess of Bollywood, the Queen of Hallmark, to some royal beauty when I come back. And John's going to help me out.
Welcome back, everyone. In honor of this weekend's premiere of Royal Matchmaker, we have recruited Princess Kim to spill the real beauty secrets of royal women throughout history. And joining us is the star of Royal Matchmaker.
Yes,
I feel we should curtsy. Joy Lenz. And, of course, someone who's always royalty to us, Mr. John Corbett. We'll curtsy again. He did so well in Kim's last beauty segment when he was here that we felt it was only appropriate to add him in this one again.
Yes. I'm hungry. It's almost lunch. What are we going to eat today?
You ate my last beauty segment. You cannot eat this one. But John, in your both honor, you enjoy. I just wanted, I get very involved in my segments. So
there you go.
I just want to put on my little princess crown stuff, and I love it. And anytime I can wear a crown, I will.
I love it.
So let me just tell you guys that I don't have this labeled in, so I'm just going to put it right there.
That's fine.
Now. So you guys, I did my research in your honor to help our audience kind of feel as royal as well when they're watching your movie. So I found out that one of our very favorite royals, Kate Middleton, actually uses this rosehip oil. She, of course, is the Duchess of Cambridge. She's married to Prince William. Great skin.
It's because of the rosehip oil.
It's because of what I've suggested she use. And this is really part of her beauty routine. And you're probably wondering, John and Joy saying, Kim, what does rosehip oil do?
No, I use it all the time, but I don't know what it does.
Oh my God, it's so perfect. Well, it's an antioxidant. It has vitamins A, C, and E. Did you know that, John?
Nope.
No. And it also is filled with fatty acids. It hydrates your skin, anti-aging. It's great for your hair. It's great for your nails. And the other good part about this, you guys, is if you don't want to use, the straight oil form, although you could also just use drops into your already existing.
Why do you
lotion.
put it on your hips?
Hair?
No, you don't put it on your hair.
But you could. It's probably good for your
You
It's
said?
rose hip oil.
Oh, I thought you put it on your
Roses
hair.
have hips.
Maybe
Did you know that?
You don't need it because and maybe on John's
There
ears.
you go.
Oh, yeah.
It looks delicious. I'm
Does
just
it?
saying.
No, John, you can't.
Don't eat it.
You
Don't eat it,
cannot.
John.
It smells good.
Yeah, and it's $18 on Amazon.
Is it okay for sensitive skin? Yeah.
Very good for any skin because it's very healing.
Okay.
And it's an oil. So isn't that great?
Good.
We love
We
that.
love that. What
All right,
is
here's
this?
something a little more tasty for
It looks
John.
edible.
Yeah.
It actually could be. And we'll
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him.
Yeah, no. Okay, so this one is one of my good friends. We've been friends for many years, Marie Antoinette. And sometimes on Friday nights we get together and we do our mask. But did you know that she was, of course, the Queen of France in the 18th century? And people to this day still use Marie Antoinette's mask because it works so well and she was so beautiful.
Well, she's over 300 years old, but it's worked.
Exactly.
She still looks, she looks so young. She's over 300.
In all of her pictures.
Fantastic.
All right, so one of her big secrets was to use powdered milk. And powdered milk is great because it has citric acid in it, and that tightens the pores. So that's going to make your pores really tight. Then a little bit of, you probably have lemons in all your great, your ranch and your farm, right?
Yes.
John?
10 lemon trees.
Do you really? I didn't even know that, and I just made it up. That's amazing. So you and Bo have a lot of lemon trees.
A lot of lemon trees. Always 3 lemon pies, lemon meringue pies in the fridge or the freezer.
What is Belle making?
Pies? She makes crust and everything.
Stop it.
Well,
will she come on our show and make those lemon meringue pies? We'd love to have her on.
Yes, she will.
And we can talk about her animal products, the dog products.
Yes, we will. So you guys, in the meantime, we're just going to make Marie Antoinette's mask, and that is the lemons and 1 egg white. That's super easy. Do you have any chickens there?
They do. Do you have chickens too?
We only have 4 horses and 2 dogs.
Oh, okay.
Joy, do you have chickens?
I don't, but I do have a tip about egg whites.
Oh, let's hear. Joy is now. Yep, I love it.
So, if you get a bruise on your face,
Yes.
I know this because my daughter, I used to run around and get bruises all the time. I would get it on my arms, but especially works on your face if it's like if you fall or something.
Yeah.
My daughter hit me with her head the other day and smacked me. I was like, I gotta be on camera. So I ran to the fridge. You crack open an egg, you get the egg white, and you just put the egg white right on it. And what it does is it like tightens your skin, pulls the capillaries away so it doesn't bruise. So it might hurt a little bit, but it doesn't like.
Is that what arnica does as well, or is it different? Arnica does the same thing?
Arnica does. It helps get rid of bruises.
Oh,
yeah. I just don't know if it's the same
She was watching
process,
me
though.
put this on my eye. She's like, "That's disgusting." So gross.
But it worked.
Well, this mask is not that disgusting. I mean, I think it's really beautiful so far.
think so,
The egg white tightens your skin. And then last but not least, something that I know Mark has a lot of growing in his backyard, and that is cognac.
Oh.
Yes.
And
he has a cognac plant in his backyard.
He does. No, John, you know you're going to want to drink this. And this has a lot of antioxidants in it.
Does
and
it
helps
really?
prevent wrinkles. So what you'd want to do,
interesting.
John, give me your hand for a moment. I'm going to do this, and I also have a towel for you. Yeah, this side. Okay. And then what you'd want to do is just layer this on your face. Marie and I used to do this in the day.
Yeah.
And we would layer it on, leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes, just a light kind of consistency, and you leave that on. You wipe it off after 15 minutes. Let's pretend.
How long do you leave the mask on?
15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't harden. No, Joy.
Oh, okay,
It
good
is
to
kind
know.
of, yeah.
And
Make it
look
soft.
At that hand.
That looks like a 45-year-old hand.
Doesn't it? You are
took
so
12 years off.
There you go. Super. And then last but not least, this is a lovely young woman that Mark dated, Cleopatra.
Oh,
And
yeah.
She is known, there she is, a very handsome woman, I might say.
She's handsome.
And she used to take many baths.
Right.
And in her baths, she would use a lot of oils, Joy. And she had this wonderful grouping of oils that just, this is a gift for both of you. And I want you to smell it as I tell our audience. That's for you and Bo. What she put in it. So what she would put in it is she would put sweet almond oil, which softens the skin. There goes my crown. And ylang ylang oil.
That's lovely.
That lowers your blood pressure.
Lovely.
She also added a lot of frankincense, and we know that from the 3 wise men.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Yes, absolutely. And it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And then jasmine oil. So all of this combined together, it's really that combination. And you put that in your bath.
Did you like that when she wore it on your dates? Did you like that?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was so calming.
It was calming.
I was always stressed out because she always had security.
I know.
Because she was also dating Mark Anthony and a lot of other Marks. So he just wanted to be safe.
So yes,
Well, yeah.
Let me put on my crown, and I know what I will be watching, and I'll be doing all these beauty treatments while I do.
Well, we
Thank
know
you
what
so
you'll
much.
be watching.
Thank you.
You'll be
Thanks for not
watching
eating this.
this guy next, because John's going to sit down and talk to us about his new film, his new faith-based film. He's also going to share with us, he's got a very unique connection to royalty, a king. This one happens to be Elvis Presley. When we come back. Oh, you certainly know our next guest, mostly, maybe from his memorable roles, co-DJing with Artie Sequeira.
On our show.
Yes, in Northern Exposure. Perhaps Sex and the City. He's here, he's talking about his latest film that he's starring in. It's a powerful new film. It's called God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness. John Corbett, you're always welcome in our house. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
always good.
Thank you. Always fun to be here.
This movie, you play a lawyer. He's an atheist.
Yes.
He is estranged from his brother, who is a reverend, and you guys are brought back together in this one. Now, when I think of your body of work, I don't necessarily think of John Corbett, faith-based actor, film, but you say it's different this time around for you.
It is, because it's been quite a few years, probably 15 years since I've had any success with movies, and that's Big Fat Greek Wedding. And
My People.
That's right.
Big fan of that one, by the way. Yeah.
I'm a fan of success. So here's the thing. This movie, God's Not Dead, this is the third installment.
Yeah.
These movies really impacted Hollywood. I mean, they were made for roughly a couple $1 million and made almost $100 million each. The first two. So when they called and said, look, we have this faith-based movie, God's Not Dead. Have you heard of it? Yeah, I've heard of it. It's really changed the way they're making movies. We want you to be part of it. I said, I'm in, man. I'm in. I want to do it. But here's what happened. They sent the script. I thought, oh, this is going to be light. It's a really heavy drama. And I get to play a public defender who sees that this town's taking advantage of my brother with this thing called eminent domain. Church burns down on a university campus. A man's killed. So now they don't want him to rebuild it, and they want him to put it way over here. And he says, no, I want to rebuild it here. So it's a little bit of a whodunit and a legal drama, but such a solid drama script.
Well, we have and I understand that you guys ended up praying on set before you guys would shoot too.
So that's really an unusual thing to do, but every day they would say a prayer before we worked that everybody would stay safe. We shot it in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is one of my favorite towns.
Oh.
And it was really a neat thing to do. And there, the whole crew, there's usually 100 people on set. They're different faiths, but everybody was respectful. It was a 30-second prayer. One day I led the prayer, and it was just really something nice. I might try to take that over into my next thing because it was beautiful.
It's really unified.
Exactly. Why not? It really does. It brings everybody together. So we have a clip, but it's not really bringing you and your brother together. It's showing just how different you two are in your opinions and your faith.
We've been estranged for many years.
Yes.
And not necessarily fans of each other.
No. So here's a clip of David and John where old wounds are sort of reopening. Take a look.
I wasn't welcome in this house once I started asking tough questions.
Is that what they were? Tough questions? Oh, why did God allow bad things to happen to good people? Or how do we even know God exists? Really?
You should back off, little brother.
Maybe you were just trying to impress a co-ed with how worldly and forward-thinking you were. I guess your Christian roots were too provincial.
Well, at least I know what's happening in the world 5 miles outside the county line.
You're right, I don't know. And I don't know why you left me to take care of Mom and Dad when they were sick. Why did you leave me to take care of everything after they were gone? Do you have any idea what you did to Mom and Dad? You broke their hearts.
You're the one that broke my heart.
Wow. Yeah, that's very powerful.
Round of applause.
That is powerful. That gives me chills.
Listen, he's been hurt. He's an atheist, actually.
Yeah.
And we like that. This movie's coming out on Easter. And Easter weekend, and you don't have to be a Christian to go see this movie. If you go to this movie, I love the fact that they're not preaching to the choir in there, because even if you don't believe in a creator and you go see this movie, you're going to see a really solid movie. In fact, I wouldn't even call it a faith-based drama. I just think it's a great drama, and we can get that audience too. It doesn't have to be a complete Christian audience.
Well, and you're a great actor in a great drama, and you have had such a successful career, like Mark was mentioning earlier. Artie nearly passed out when she saw you. She was so excited. I mean, you really are royalty. We've been joking, but you are. You're sort of your Hollywood royalty, and I'm going to give it to you. So take it.
Thanks.
But you almost quit altogether at one point in your life. You almost walked away from acting.
When I first moved to Hollywood, I did different things. I was a hairdresser. Not many people know that. 30 years ago, I was a hairdresser. Wow. I worked in a steel factory for many years. I was a welder for 5 years. I was going to become deputy sheriff. And then when I discovered acting in a junior college, I moved to Hollywood, and I said I'd give it 4 years. It was really 86 to 90. And I got one episode of The Wonder Years, which was cool. In 4 years.
Great show.
I was in acting class with this one. I talked about that last time.
He got jobs like that, you guys.
Yeah.
He did.
Back then, but I discovered that it really wasn't a passion of mine, acting. I was just about to quit. A friend of mine lived in Seattle and was going to Russia and wanted me to watch their house for a year. This was '89, the end of it, Christmas time, and I was going to walk away from Hollywood and go do that and think about something else I was going to do for my life. And in January, I got offered Northern Exposure, which shot in Seattle, about 5 miles from this house I was going to. That changed my life.
It did.
And I, we did that show for 6 years, and I discovered that I really did like it.
If that wasn't divinity, if that wasn't divine intervention,
I will say, if you failed at all of those things, where you would have succeeded is as a collector of strange Elvis Presley memorabilia. I got to turn the story, because you bought 2 things that I'm still going, wow.
Yeah. Well, here's what happens with money. So in '93...
Tell us.
In '93, I'm a young single guy. I'm on a hit TV show, and I got a lot of money in the bank. That's just what goes down. And they auctioned off. I've always been a huge Elvis fan since I was 7 years old. Comeback special in '68, right? I'm watching it with my mom.
What?
This stuff's coming up for sale. Guess what they're auctioning off? 3-day event. The birth record of Elvis, handwritten by the doctor who delivered him in Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935. It's this little birth booklet. And his twin brother. Not many people know this. A half hour before Elvis was born, he had a twin brother named Jesse Guerin.
Yeah.
And his only signed existing American Express card. And I took my dad to Vegas and I said, I'm getting that credit card. I wanted that credit card for some reason. Well, this thing... just got in, there it is, right there. This thing got in my body, and I knew I had all that money in the bank, and I just said, I'm going to get that record of his birth, too, because it's only coming up for sale once. And I bought it. And
because didn't they destroy all of his,
So here's what happened. I met his right-hand man, Joe Esposito, at that auction, and afterwards he said, Elvis was really funny with the credit cards. When you get a new credit card, he wanted us to cut the old one up in front of him, and he'd sign the new one and put it in his wallet. So whenever he wanted anything, he pulled out the credit card and said, where's my card? Where's my card? He wanted his card back. And he said, so when Elvis died, he said, we cut up all the credit cards that were in his wallet. We didn't know the stuff would be worth anything. And this one was left in a limousine for a couple years. Then it resurfaced. So that's why it's the only existing one.
Wow.
Yeah. So I put it in a safe. I got it. I put it in a safe. Since '93, it's sat in a safe. And I maybe showed it to 5 people over all these years. And guess what I did last year? I decided that I was going to let somebody else own it. And you know who I sold it to?
Who?
Graceland.
What?
So now
they
it's
bought
back.
It back or they sold it?
Now it's back where it belongs. The record of Elvis's birth. It's on display in Graceland.
So they bought it back after they sold it?
They bought both of them back.
How wonderful.
You're a great
good for
businessman.
you.
Isn't that cool?
Good for
that
you for
is a
doing
smart
that,
investment.
I mean, what a great thing, because that's something so many people treasure.
Yeah.
And we treasure you, John Corbett.
Thank you,
Oh, John Corbett, we love you.
God Is Not Dead, A Light in Darkness is in theaters March 30th. Go see it. It's a powerful drama, as John said.
Yes.
And you are a light in any room, my friend.
Right.
Ken's also a light in it.
Thank you. You know what makes me a light? Is I can turn teacups into a wreath. So come to the dining room and I'll show you how. You can be a light too.
Charm to our homes with the DIY teacup wreath is Ken. You're always charming. You're always charming.
Why, thank you.
So this actually came from one of our viewers, right?
From Kimberly, from Moultrie, Georgia. And I love when viewers challenge me, when they ask me questions. And she's like, I love cups and saucers. I want to do something. I'm thinking of something up on the wall. And so we sort of like went back and forth, and I came up with this wreath.
All right.
Which I love. And she has the same love of vintage china I do. So you get cups and saucers at 99-cent stores, go to a 99 cents, and smaller.
Yeah.
Sure.
And to me, it's like, it's amazing because at some point, like, this cup and saucer, like, it was on someone's dining, it's been someone's Christmases.
It tells a story.
Anniversaries. Yeah. This is Limoges, like Limoges.
Wow.
Someone pained over this when they did their wedding registry 50, 80, 100 years ago. So I just love, like, this piece here, if you look at the back here, somebody made that, M. Brown, in 1974.
How
so
wonderful.
To me, these are pieces of people's lives. So to find a way to use them, I think is wonderful.
Okay, so other than pieces of people's lives, what else do we need?
Pieces of people's lives and a piece of wood. That's all you
That's
gotta
it?
do.
Okay. All right, get started then. How do we do it?
So what I have here is a 17-inch plywood round. Get it from the hardware store. Craft plaque will work as well around that size. Go ahead and give it a coat of white paint just to sort of make it nice and sort of simple. Now you're going to get a dinner plate. And what you're going to do is use a little E6. Actually, on this you can use hot glue. A little hot glue around the base.
So I see you're using 2 different types of glue for this.
Yeah, so I have found that gluing china to wood, the hot glue actually gives a nice, solid, I've done it, I've tested, I've tried to get it off.
Really?
Right.
And that's going to hold, huh?
If you do china to china, however, the hot glue isn't going to be strong because it doesn't have anything to sort of grasp onto. So what you're going to do is once you've done that, you're going to get your cups and you're going to start to kind of lay them around in a pattern that you want.
Okay.
And you're going to need roughly 16, 17, 18 cups. You're going to do that.
Can you do this with any size cup, or would you want them to sort of be?
Well, I played around with some. You want them to be consistent. Okay. So all sort of bell-shaped teacups, or you could do it with diner mugs would be great.
Oh, how fun.
So you cool. Get a lot of different kinds, but you want to be consistent. Once you sort of get them laid out, you're going to adhere them. And to your point, I found the best way to do it, you can see here, is along this edge. And be careful, like look at it and see where it's actually touching.
Okay.
Because I missed it a few times. Leave your finger there and do a nice, super thick line down M. Brown's teapot from 1974. And give that a nice push down. The good thing about the hot glue is it's going to adhere pretty quickly.
And what you're marking really is where the handle, the ceramic meets ceramic.
Well, no, what you're marking there is where the ceramic hits the wood. And because they have curves and all that, you've got to be careful because a lot of times you'll get it and you won't actually.
But you also want to make sure the ceramic is touching the ceramic.
Right, you want to do that.
Because then you're going to glue that too.
And then you're going to, while it's still a little wet, a little bit of E6000 where the ceramic hits the ceramic and put down there. Now the hot glue is going to hold it in place while the other glue sort of dries and just continue all the way around.
Okay.
This is going to be pretty heavy by the end of all this.
It's not light. It's it's lighter than a big gilded mirror, but
so then it's heavy if they were filled with like tea.
Right.
Or lead.
But you know what would be heavy? The diner mugs would be super heavy.
That would be. So then you'd have to be super careful.
Sure. And you know, I probably wouldn't. I know this is a wreath, but I would not hang this on a door.
No, you would not. It would chip. People would come in and out. And then to finish, do as my mother says, do as I say, not as I do. Glue this last piece on with E6000, not with hot glue.
It's going to take a while to.
Right, but for the sake of letting you all see, I put that right in the middle just to give it a little spark. And really, you're absolutely done. You get this charming sort of collection of people's lives and history.
And how do you hang it?
D-hooks on the back with a little bit of picture wire. You want to make sure that's sort of substantial.
Well, this now explains why you went with a thicker piece of plywood as well, because you really want to be able to have some meat to screw in.
Exactly. You want a sort of nice piece. And I think that's
really
sort of
beautiful.
They're beautiful works of art. And you just think of like where those teacups have been. It's kind of nice to give them an extra little bit of life.
And there's a story behind each one.
Exactly.
And if there isn't, make one up.
There you go. Oh, this one, my great grandmother on the front porch. This one when she had tea with Lincoln.
Oh, lovely.
This one they had on the Mayflower.
That's beautiful in a dining room. I love that, Ken.
Really cool
Thank you so much. For full instructions and for more, all you have to do is visit HallmarkChannel.com or KennethWingard.com.
Oh, fabulous.
You guys don't go anywhere because Paige has a DIY we simply will not stand for.
That's right. You don't have to stand. You can sit. Because I'm going to show you how to do these DIY tree stump stools. They are easy to do, and you'll never guess what they're made out of.
Oh,
joke? I was
interesting. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Be careful. It's dangerous. Slippery slope, Debbie. Then Olympic icon Scott Hamilton is here. He's talking about his new book that is out. He's telling us the one mistake he feels parents are making when raising their children.
That's right. And would you like to add a little life to your walls? Well, you're in luck because later we are creating gorgeous DIY planters.
Plus, we are sharing the inspirational story of how double amputee war veteran Dan Nevins is changing the lives of millions.
He certainly is. And you know what? I hope Kimberly liked this, by the way. Kimberly, I really hope you like that wreath. We're going to send this to her?
I'm keeping this. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh, how rude. Kimberly's joking. Meanwhile, you guys stick around because I'm putting my own spin on stuffed delicious artichokes.
Wonderful.
They're delicious and perfect for spring and your Easter dinner. Come back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. everybody. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to Easter dinner. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Me and my family get together and we're all cooking. And this year, I'm trying something new. So I'm just going to let everyone at home know that I'm going to make this for Easter. So I hope you like it. I'm making lamb and feta stuffed artichokes. They are practically spring on a plate. And hopefully my family will be asking for seconds. So. Also joining us, by the way, I almost forgot, at the counter, our interior designers, Krista and Brittany Horton. We're so excited to have you, and we can't wait to see the wall art of the planters. They're so, but I want to feed you first.
Yes.
Please. So hopefully you eat lamb.
We do.
You eat lamb.
We do.
So artichokes are really in season right now. Artichokes are a springtime vegetable, and they're really difficult to find during the other seasons of the year. But when they do come in season, I highly recommend that you get them and you prepare them. They're a little persnickety. They can be tough.
Speaking of.
Yes.
I never know, maybe with the design team here, you can help me figure out how to eat. I don't know what part to eat. When to eat it, how to
and you ever see people at a restaurant trying to do
It's not attractive.
And then they're like, sir, that's not the part you're eating. You know, I'm like, oh.
All right, look, they're delicious. You guys dig in. They're very good. But I'm going to show you. You need to take out the outer leaves because the outer leaves are absolutely nothing to you.
Okay.
You have to take out the center. You have to cut off the top and the bottom. All right, there's a lot. The artichoke heart is what you really want to eat. So you guys dig in. Actually,
that's
a little
where
bit
the phrase
earlier.
Is from. Eat your heart out.
Eat your heart out. So I'm going to show you how to prepare one. So what you have to do is first you cut off the stem so the chokes can sit upright. All right. The stem is an extension of the heart. It goes straight through. So you're going to keep this stem. You cut off all those leaves. We do not need them. And then you're going to slice this into like 4 or 5 pieces if you can. And we're going to save that for later because we're going to put it in the bottom of our stock pot. Then you trim off the top 1/4 inch of the stoke to discard all those bits that were really spiky. Then you remove the toughest 3 to 4 layers of the leaves. You start to spread it open. You remove the purple tinged thin leaves inside, by the way, because we don't want that either. Then you also remove the fuzzy interior part. You're going to get in there with a spoon, whatever, a melon baller, take it out there because nobody wants that fuzzy part. Now, believe it or not, after you've taken all of that out, that is what you want. That is the great part of the artichoke. Did you get it?
Yes.
That's
kind of. I know my kids always like the artichoke dip, but I'm like, what part of that?
It's the heart. They're using the heart. Okay, so what we did is we prepared the artichoke just like this, and we've taken the stem and cut it and put it in our stock pot over here with some water and some lemon juice because we're going to sit our artichokes on top of this. As you can see, we've already prepared one over here. So this is just ground lamb. You know the Greeks, we like our lamb. The ground lamb, you add some parsley. What do you guys think?
It's really delicious.
Some olive oil.
Delicious.
Do we eat lamb in what season? Winter, spring, summer, fall?
Spring. Also, as artichokes are seasonal, lamb is seasonal as well. You know, you can find lamb every season around the year, but it's really best to eat it in spring. As a matter of fact, in Greece, they won't even sell it to you.
Oh, wow.
If it's not spring.
Because it's goat, isn't it? Or it's like,
it's yes.
They're older.
It's exactly right. You have to, the lambs are usually born in December and they wait until spring to actually to sell them and serve them. So when we were doing the cookbook in Greece, the only recipe, little known fact, that I was not able to shoot in Greece was lamb because the farmers wouldn't sell it to me. They said, we will not sell you this lamb. It's not ready. I was like, but I need it for the cookbook. Then you come back. I'm not going to sell it to you. I was like, okay. All right, so I put a little olive oil in there, some lemon juice, some lemon zest. There we go. Some garlic.
Was your mom with you there?
With the lemon juice?
She would have talked him into it.
No, she said the same thing. No, honey. You don't buy the lamb before it's time to eat the lamb. Some thyme.
How much time?
A little bit, just a little bit of time.
30 minutes?
Some salt, some pepper, and some red pepper flakes. All right, so we mix that all together. We get that going.
It really is.
I'm so glad you like that.
So good.
And girls, I know that you said you guys don't eat lamb. What do you think?
No, I am digging on this.
I do now.
You like it? You do now?
You'll just have to come over and make it for us.
When it's prepared properly. And then, of course, you put in
Yeah.
some feta cheese. And if you don't like lamb, really, you could use pork, you could use beef, whatever you want to use.
Right.
It's absolutely fine.
You're right, Debbie. This tastes like spring on a plate.
Doesn't it?
It does.
It's really beautiful. I think the lemon really adds a kick to it, doesn't it? All right, so then you take a little bit of this mixture.
The juice of 2 lemons?
The juice of 2 lemons.
There you go.
And you actually put this in the artichoke like this. So we haven't steamed the artichoke. We haven't cooked any of the lamb mixture, nothing. We're going to cook it all together. Now, this is it's pretty much a 2 part baking and cooking system. A 2-part baking system. I feel like I'm selling something.
I feel like an artichoke doesn't want to be eaten.
It kind of does. Because it's protecting itself.
Yeah, it's like,
it does.
Hey.
But it's so fun.
Easter egg.
It is. It always feels very festive to have an artichoke.
Right, and they're not easy to make. That's why.
Right.
So these are just some breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese, just like
panko?
that. No, it's not panko. It's just regular breadcrumbs. You can use panko if you wanted to.
I love it when you figure out a kitchen question. Is it panko?
I was like, I've learned the term
panko would make it crunchier.
Throw it out.
Feel free. You can do the panko if you like. So as I said, we put some water, some lemon juice, and some the artichoke stem in here because what we want to do is we want to create we want to elevate the artichoke because we're going to steam it first.
Okay.
So
Elevate
first,
the artichoke.
elevate the artichoke, and you can put more breadcrumbs as you can see if you want on there.
So are they sitting on? So the stalks are keeping it from sitting on the bottom.
Yes.
Of the...
So then you're going to see. So they're elevated. So it's like you're steaming it.
Okay.
You're going to put the lid on the stock pot, and you are going to bring this to a boil for about 6 to 10 minutes. After that, we're going to take this off, and we're going to place it in the oven for. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. In the oven for about 45 to an hour. Check on it because you want all this to get crunchy and crusty on top.
Okay.
So then it's going to go from steaming to roasting. So you're going to get all those beautiful juices and flavors that come together. And the lamb is going to really, oh my gosh, right there. The lamb is going to start, it's going to bake the artichoke as well. So then you take it out just like this and you slice it right down the middle.
I love that you can do it all in the same pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Dishes.
Oh my gosh, and that juice is beautiful if you want to pour it on top.
The sauce is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
sure
work.
what it is.
Yes,
You live in one of those households where I cook you clean.
Yeah.
Right?
One pot, done.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you cut right through this guy, just like that. It gets a little messy, but that's okay. You need and there you go.
Oh, perfect.
Beautiful that
Look
is.
at that. Super
gorgeous.
And then
Plate it up.
You serve it with some beautiful tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
Yeah,
There you go. Enough garlic to kill a vampire.
So good.
And that's it. You get right in there.
Thank you,
What do you
Debola.
think,
By
guys?
the way, the recipe is available by visiting HallmarkChannel.com, one of your favorite destinations on the world.
Do you think my family will approve?
Oh, yeah. They will.
They will. They may be surprised for Easter this year, but hopefully they'll like it. Up next, there's no surprises. Olympic gold medal figure skater Scott Hamilton is here. He's sharing the lessons he's learned from winning, and more importantly, perhaps from losing. Next.
Figure skater. His new book, Finish First, Winning Changes Everything, tells us why competition is a good thing. Please welcome to our home, Scott Hamilton.
Scott!
You're not just any gold medal winner. You're Scott Hamilton. You are a big deal.
I'm the shortest one.
Oh my gosh.
No, was it long man Brian Boitano here? No,
he's
you here?
I mean,
great.
You're equally as great, by the way.
Yeah.
So your book, Finish First. It's what does it mean to finish first? I mean, obviously it means finish first, but it's more than
everybody
that.
else.
We all have dreams and aspirations of doing something with our lives that's, gets recognition or whatever. And this is more about something that we give to ourselves. It's this aspiration. It's to do something with our skill sets, with our natural calling, whatever that is, and take that to it as far as you possibly can. And it's a really, Finish First is truly a book of encouragement, and it's to kind of get people off the bench and to get them and hear the steps on how you can be better than you've ever been before.
I wanted to share this fact with our audience, but I think it comes better from you. Your first competition ever.
Okay.
You finished.
My first competition ever was I finished second, but my first nationals ever, I came in dead last.
Wow.
No, and it was a habit. It wasn't just one. Every year I go to nationals, I come in ninth. Ninth was my number. And it was the first nationals I fell 5 times in front of 17,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Epic fail. But it
was it just nerves? Because you obviously had the skill set.
Honestly, I think it was everything. It was the way I trained. It was my intention. It was my focus. It was my everything. And what I learned from that is, and it was, man, it's so memorable. And it was really at the time humiliating and painful. But I realize now how important that one was in order for me to kind of like dig deep and go, you know what? I made a better stuff than this. Right. And it's up to me to change the way I train and to change the way that I compete and to change the way that I live my life.
But it was the passing of your mom that really provided
that was
this
the wake-up call.
motivation.
Yeah, because I was really a dedicated loser for a long time. Like the last competition my mom saw me skate in, I came in 9th again because 9 was my number.
Did she ever see you win?
She saw me win the junior championship, which was like totally God, because I was like 9th, 7th, and then I won. And that win was it caught the coach's eye and it caught the sponsor's eye, so I was able to extend my skating because that was supposed to be my last competition ever, and I was not killing or anything. So the idea was that I was just this horrible loser guy that couldn't figure it out. And then my mom died, and I went for a walk that morning that she passed, and I said, "What am I going to do with this grief?" And all I kept thinking is, honor her in everything you do. And so it was a real wake-up call to show up with intention, to show up with kind of the long play in mind. I don't care how I do this year as long as it's better than last year and the next, and the next, and the next. And pretty soon I was in a position where I never lost.
And pretty soon you won the gold medal.
But it was, and that changed everything, right? But it was honestly, it was like, here's how. And it's like, it's basically simple. It's, find your passion, find your calling, find what you're good at.
You talk a lot about in the book about finding your purpose, and you say that, but I think there are a lot of people out there that say, well, how do I even find my purpose?
Well, I met a little girl in Korea, and it just my heart just broke. She came up and she goes, I don't understand what you mean about purpose. And she goes, I'm not good at anything. That's how she said it. And I go, that's not true. You're probably good at many things. I go, what do you like to do? And she said, I like to read. And I go, oh, what are you reading? And she goes, I just finished Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. I go, you love the classics. And she goes, I do. And I go, maybe you're an author. And her eyes just went like that. And I gave her permission to dream for just that second. But why not? I mean, it all begins with, like, wouldn't it be great if I'll never play in the NBA. I'll never play, there's a lot of things I'm not going to do, but I found something that my body, my mind, my heart could get behind, and it was up to me to show up every day and just get better at it.
I want to go back to this message you were talking about, because for so many people, they're like, son, losing is not an option. And they're so focused on the win. I have to win. I have to win, whether you're a father with your son or whatever, and they just drive that home. But you say there's actually more to learn in losing.
Well, no, there's a lot to learn in losing, but, it's like pick your wins. Like, winning can be just showing up that day. Winning can, be the first one on and the last one off. That can be a win. So you build, like, there are each of bricks in the foundation. So every little win you can accomplish is furthering you towards a bigger win. And once you hit the bigger win, it's like, whoa, there's all these other things I can now do that I never thought of doing before. And it just, honestly, it changes everything. And it's really, honestly, the message is we don't need to shield ourselves from failure, because failure, honestly, is information. That's all it is. And if you can look at failure as information, I fell 41,600 times estimated on the low end in my skating life.
Estimated.
Estimated on the low end, right? I got up 41,600 times. And that builds a muscle in our psyches where, we fail, we get up. We fail, we get up. We're criticized. I talk about that. Chapter 9 is huge. Being criticized is debilitating, but then you kind of have to wait, is it fact? Or is it opinion? And if it's opinion, just delete it. Who cares? But if it's fact, then you go, oh, okay, now how can I fix this? How can I address this? Because we're all diamonds, all of us, but some of us have just gotten pulled out of the ground. What do we look like if we're a diamond that just got pulled out of the ground?
Pretty dirty.
A little attention, right? But all it is attention. And I tell my kids, and they always finish this sentence, what's the greatest strength? A lack of weakness. And we all have mountains of weakness. We just have to chip away at them.
Yeah, and I love how you say it's like you learn so much more out of losing. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, every kid gets a trophy for showing up, and it's everyone's a winner. It's okay. You need to fail a little bit to deal with life.
And I'll go to my 10-year-old. He just started playing hockey, and he wants to be on the Predators so bad, and he has all these big dreams and visions. And they got killed their first 2 games, like totally destroyed. And he got in the car, and he was just mad, and he was hurt, and he was angry. I go, whoa. What did you learn today? And he goes, well, I got to skate better, and I got to stick handle more and better, and I got to get my shot up. And he started to get excited about it. All this work he needed to do. My shot, I want to get it up in that corner, and I go, okay, good. What would you have learned if you won today? And he went, I don't know. Precisely.
Exactly.
It's a journey, and the journey never ends. And that's why I say, when you hit this victory, then it opens the door for more and more and more and more, and you can build your life.
That's on us to teach.
It's on us. It's true.
Teach them how to lose.
Yes, it's true.
It's information.
That's going to be your next book. Teach them how to lose. So, Scott, you've had, I mean, speaking of journey, you've had quite the journey. I mean, you're a winner on the ice and off the ice equally. You've had to overcome some really debilitating obstacles that could have frozen some people between your cancer and 3 brain tumors, but you didn't. You've overcome them each and every time, and you won. Do you think what is it about your winning mindset, do you think, that's helped you overcome these challenges just in life?
Well, I think it was built out of, I was able to figure this out. And I was able to get past this. And I was like, if you're a short, bald, half-neutered, chemoed, radiated, surgically repaired, retired male figure skater of unknown ethnic origin, if you can figure that out, oh man, the world is yours. It's just like, come on. But, it was just, like with each one, it's like cancer, scared to death.
Right, of course.
I was scared to death, and then I go, let's get to work.
Okay.
It's a process. It's a process. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end to this, and I'm gonna participate fully. First brain tumor, it was one of the most. I told my wife and a young son, and she just grabbed both my hands. She started to pray, and it was the single most powerful moment of my life. Second brain tumor was like getting kicked in the gut, and third brain tumor was like, hey, let's just tap the brakes here.
Right.
I'm gonna change the way I live my life, and let's just keep an eye on it. And the type of tumor I have, they just grow and they create all kinds of mischief,
Yeah. This
one has shrunk twice.
Wow.
And no one can explain it. And the first surgeon, I had a meeting with him, and he said, I go, can you explain this? And he goes, God. And I go, yeah. So, I was like, it was so emotional, and then no one, like anyone, they go, have you ever heard of this type of tumor shrinking without treatment? They go, no. And I go, so it's a miracle, and I'll take it.
You are such an inspiration, and I think your mom is standing right beside you at every step of the way.
She's always here.
Is always
Scott Hamilton, we need to do a life story. Take it to the big screen. I want to watch that. Finish first. Winning changes everything is available wherever books are sold. And for more information, please visit scotthamilton.com.
Please.
And you all stick around because Paige is showing us how to spruce up our seating with her stunning DIY tree stump stools.
Plus, we are sharing the amazing story of Dan Nevins. He is a double amputee Marine veteran. He's inspiring millions, and he will inspire you too.
Yes, he will. But next, just in time for spring, we are creating beautiful living plant wall with sister-in-law design team Krista and Brittany Horton. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Debbie. We are so excited to show you these beautiful wall planters.
And we can't wait to show you guys how easy they are to make, so make sure you stick around.
Our next guests are the owners of H Design Interiors, based in Bakersfield, California. They made the road trip today to spend time with us to show us how to create a DIY planter, a wood planter. You can put it on your wall, you can put it on your countertop, you can put it anywhere. It's perfect for spring. Please welcome, for the first time, and hopefully not the last, Krista and Brittany Horton.
Thanks for being here.
Come back.
Yes, we
like neighbors.
Yeah, I know, you're so close.
We feel like we're home here.
So this is really a family affair for you guys.
It really is. We actually met when we were 13 in high school. We became best friends, and then we had this master plan to marry brothers.
Stop it.
So we did.
What?
Oh my gosh.
And then, we've always just loved interior design, and so we were like, why
Let's
not
make
just
a
do
business
it?
out of it.
Yeah. Wow, so everything you want, you make happen.
Yeah.
You really
we pretty much had our list. We're like, check.
We did. We would send each other notes with pictures of each.
Do you have like an inspiration board? And you're like, these two boys and interior design business.
Exactly.
You've done it. But I love the story that you're saying. You have 5 kids between the two of you?
So soon to be 5.
Soon to be 5.
So we have 4 kids between the two of us, all under the age of 5.
Yeah, it goes 5, 4, 3, 2.
And 1, too.
And 1. Yeah. And it is absolutely hysterical. When we are out and about shopping for clients, we've got babies on our hips, babies in the
car.
Yeah. And we are like, oh, that's cute, that's cute. And somehow it all just comes together.
We're like sweating.
You do realize this is a TV show waiting to happen. So we'll be lucky if we can get you back because the producers are going to start calling. We've done some really great renovations together. I'd love to show our viewers some of these. You did the first one is a kitchen?
Yeah, so we transformed this kitchen. It kind of had an old school kind of country vibe, and our client definitely wanted something more modern, so we made it just white and bright.
So beautiful. And then a living room.
Yes,
I love
this
this.
is gorgeous. Right? Isn't that so pretty? It was super dark with a rock fireplace. Yeah.
I love the accent beam color.
Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, and then we painted the ceiling white, so it really brightened it up.
And then this playroom is like night and day.
Yeah, so we are moms and we love doing playrooms. Just
like our favorite room to do.
Yeah, we feel like we still want the playrooms to be functional, but still flow with the rest of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you made it work.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Can you come over and work out?
Anytime.
Let's do it.
14 and 16-year-old boys, they're like all over the place. All right, so you're going to show us how to make these beautiful planters.
Yeah, we are. So what's so great about these is that we use a lot of essentials that you can just find around your house. We actually ordered these hexagon wood shelves from Amazon, and they were about $10 each, but you could get them at your local craft store. So what you're going to do to start off, you're going to take a 1/4-inch plywood, and you're going to line it up, and all you have to do is trace the bottom half. And that is going to almost act like a cradle for the front and the back of the planter to
keep the
hold
plants
soil.
in there.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And then you can use, let's get the ruler, and you're just going to connect these dots together. And then you're going to cut it out using a jigsaw or a utility knife.
So most of the stuff you already have at home.
And what kind of wood is that?
This is a 1/4-inch plywood.
Plywood. Okay.
Yeah,
It's super
Simple ply.
thin. Yeah, so you're going to do a front side and a back side.
Okay.
And then from there, you can stain it or you can paint it. You can do like white or black, whatever goes with your house, or like a fun pastel. And so you have your panel, and you are going to take some wood glue, and you're just going to line the bottom part. Ooh, got a little crazy there. Line the bottom
people
part.
underestimate the
how much comes out.
Well, no, not
and then
that
it
so
also
much, but
smushes.
how.
I know.
Yeah, and you're like,
get a little messy.
But a glue is a fastener because people think, you just nail it, but over time, the nail, the wood expands.
And with the soil too, you want to make sure it's not going to leak out
the seams.
So that'll probably gush out a little bit.
There you go. Watch that. That's what got that.
It does get a little messy.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Debbie.
Just use your blouse.
Here's my pants. There we go.
Got the pink pants.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and then you take some nails and a hammer. We already have them in there, and you just hammer them all in.
Perfect.
It's a little loud.
That's right.
Until you get it flush.
Yeah, until
Right
it goes flush. Sorry, I'm not hammering hard enough, I don't think. And then you do the same exact thing to the back side.
And that's going to hold your soil and all the plants in.
Yes, so that is the finished product. Well, not finished, but the finished wood.
So we are.
And make sure you take your drill and drill a hole at the bottom so that the water
for
drains.
drainage.
Yes.
Oh, got it.
So that your plants don't die.
How do we get them inside?
So now's the fun part.
Yes, we get our hands dirty.
All right.
Well, sort of.
Yeah, if you have
the gloves already dirty.
Right, the gloves are now dirty, so we're on our own. So yeah, you're just going to fill it up with soil. And
not a whole lot because there's some already in
depending on the plant that you get.
And you can use your favorite flowers, whether it's seasonal or succulent.
Yeah, you can mix and match succulents with the flowers.
So I think we are going to do the pink one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you take it out of the thing.
Yes.
You're going to take
And so I know that we I said at the top, this could be a tabletop.
Yeah.
But as far as hanging goes, what do you recommend? How do you hang it?
So luckily, these ones, which are really
which
great,
is super nice, the ones from Amazon.
They do have the hardware already attached, which is so helpful.
Yes,
and
that's
as
handy.
you can see, you can do fun shapes
and different sizes.
You can make it symmetrical or asymmetrical. So yeah, really, you can do whatever fits your house the best.
If you put it inside.
Okay,
so the hole for the drainage is going to be a problem.
Right, you can still do them inside.
Right.
But just keep them in the plastic carton and just stick it in there like that. And so you can take them out to water them.
Yeah, or you can put them in a little lining.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, like, what a great housewarming gift.
I know, it's like so unexpected. It's different.
Exactly.
And with flowers to show up with that.
So it's that personal
touch. How adorable.
And you can do this on your front porch or back patio or even on an indoor wall, like you were saying, and then just line it on the inside. So really, you can use them anywhere.
Really cool too. You could do little tiny succulents in there,
right?
Because I love the shape. So it would just keep
no,
kind
it'd be
of low
so pretty. And we honestly love, like, the more free-flowing, and it doesn't have to be really...
Yeah, just have fun with it. Mix and match.
Different colors.
Yeah, even if you have succulents and then you take like real flowers and just stick them in there for that you get at Trader Joe's or wherever.
Yeah. For seasonal.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you guys so much.
More great interior design tips are waiting for you by visiting Krista and Brittany's Instagram. Their information is right there, conveniently located at the bottom of your screen. No glue on that. No.
Or nails.
Yeah.
Stick around because up next, Wounded Warrior Dan Nevins is showing us the one activity that helped him find peace after his life-changing injury. Come on back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone. For years, Wounded Warrior Project has worked with recovering veterans to help give them the strength to live their lives again. And here to tell us how he was able to find peace through the power of yoga, please welcome Staff Sergeant retired Dan Nevins. Thank you so much for being here, Dan. Thanks for being here and sharing your story. So in November of 2004, when you were serving in Iraq, an IED detonated underneath your vehicle, and you ultimately ended up losing both of your legs. Tell us about your road to recovery.
Well, it was, as you'd imagine, pretty insane. My whole world was turned upside down. I was a leader of soldiers in combat. Now I was broken and useless in a hospital bed. But very fortunately for me, Wounded Warrior Project was there every step of my recovery with a backpack and a promise that whatever I needed or whatever my family needed, that they'd be there for me. And I was just so grateful for that organization and what they showed me along the way, that my disability didn't define me, but that I got to define what the rest of my life was going to be like.
But you had 36 surgeries, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot. And I'm lucky. I ultimately lost both legs below the knee. I lived with a traumatic brain injury. But at the end of the day, I'm just very fortunate to still be here.
But there was a point when you realized, I'm not coping as well as I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was, I was actually coping really well using all physical things to sort of not have to deal with the invisible wounds of war. Until 5 years ago, I had surgery number 36. And the difference was, big deal, surgery number 36. I've had so many, it's not that big of a deal, but I was home alone recovering instead of being in the hospital, surrounded by other warriors and friends and family. And my 19-year-old daughter was now in the Army, and I had just recently been divorced, and my 3-year-old daughter I was co-parenting, and I couldn't even take care of her, and hopping around on one prosthetic leg and crutches, and then all those invisible wounds started to surface because I couldn't cope.
Which many times can be even bigger than the physical wounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Wounded Warrior Project provides services and programs designed to help veterans living with cognitive, emotional, and or physical impairments. How did yoga help you change your life?
Yeah, I've got to hear
my husband's a veteran. If I said to him, let's go do yoga, he'd be like, what, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I was 100% that guy. I was
I was the guys you served with are probably not running to do yoga.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, is I was home alone and I was just being tormented by the invisible wounds of war, and I didn't know what to do, and I was sort of at wit's end, so I called a friend. I was pouring out my heart and telling her everything that was going on in my life, and she listened and just said, Dan, you need some yoga in your life. And I said, now that's the dumbest thing you've ever said in your whole life. I'm like, I just poured out my heart, and then you're going to bring up some yoga. But she got really smart and knew not to press.
Yeah.
And said, well, what about meditation? And I had tried meditation before, and I was just no good at it. And she said, well, maybe you're doing it wrong. And she taught me that meditation was about being present to everything that's happening and not vacant and floating in some ethereal space.
Which is hard to do too, though.
Yeah. No,
it's hard to block everything out and truly meditate.
It is, but that's what they call it, practice. You just keep doing it, and then I got it. And then everything started to get better. When I wouldn't be able to sleep at night and I was taking a handful of Benadryl and some whiskey to chase it down, now I was sleeping like a baby.
But you still hadn't done yoga yet.
I still hadn't done any yoga. No yoga.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cool. Yoga, no way.
Yeah. So after 8 weeks of recovery, I got my leg back. I started to go back to work, and things were a little better. And I made this mistake of calling her to say thank you.
It was a mistake.
Gratitude
and just
is never a good thing.
Yeah, right. And and I remember that phone call, and I just was telling her thank you, and she was like, "Oh, so this Eastern weird hippie stuff worked." And I just swallowed my pride, and I totally admitted that it did. And then she said, I think you owe me some yoga.
Wow.
So I agreed to 3 private lessons that completely transformed my whole life.
Okay. I'm going to jump in. I got to jump in.
Yeah.
Okay. Ex-football player, getting after it.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong the way you were doing it wrong, but some people will say, and what do you say to them? They go, yoga just doesn't give the workout.
Well, they're doing the wrong type of yoga. Okay. So there's over 200 different styles of yoga, and I teach Baptiste yoga. It's power yoga, and it's very intense and vigorous, and you move fast, and I actually get a complete upper body, lower body, complete workout, and I sweat. I mean, it is the most intense exercise I've ever done.
Well, not only that. Okay, so you went a step further. You didn't just, you owed her 3 classes. 3 classes turned into a lifetime for you. It would, last 5 years. You became a yoga instructor.
Did.
You're not just any yoga instructor, though. You give classes for about 2,000 people at a time. Someone the front on the lawn of the White House, by the way.
Someone doesn't believe in yoga. That's quite a turnaround.
Wow, that's why is it so important to do these sort of activities to help get these warriors back on track with their lives?
Well, that's one thing is like a lot of wounded warriors are dealing with those invisible wounds of war. And what I've learned as a yoga teacher is the power of being connected to your body again and moving your body and how that ultimately affects our state of emotion and our whole emotional body and outlook on all of life. And if I can get them with the it's just a really great workout. It's going to really transform your body. They're like, okay, I'll try it.
Right.
And then they're like, oh my God, I never felt this good in my life. Yeah.
So
it's the endorphins that are
trickster.
Here's what because you know how I feel about yoga. So Debbie and I would like to invite Ken and Paige.
Wondering why you're here.
Would you show a move? One move
Absolutely.
that people at home probably go like, what would be?
Sounds great. All right, let's just jump on up. Yeah, jump on up here.
Okay. I mean, I would have, but Debbie.
No,
I got it. I understand.
Yeah, she has a pulled hand.
All right, so let's start from the ground up. Put your feet on 12 o'clock. Yeah, and you can bring your big toes to touch or up to hip width distance apart. It's up to you. Okay, so we're going to undo years of putting your body in the wrong position with everything we do. So let's start with our shoulders. Yes.
Is this the wrong position?
Total wrong, shrunken, laptops, phones. So bring your shoulders up to your ears and pull your shoulders straight back. Now let your scapula descend down your back.
It feels good.
Yeah, it feels really good. So this is mountain pose. Now lift your arms up, extended mountain pose. So great, just to be present in your true north alignment. And now we'll do one more thing. Just sit down low into chair pose.
Sit?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chair pose.
An invisible chair, Ken.
Yeah, like an invisible, like a little lower, not bar stool pose, Ken, like chair, like actually lower. Integrate your shoulders. Spark your fingers, like really get some energy there.
Yeah,
your shoulders back.
Mark.
Oh, that is it. Beautiful.
I think that's
Let me see if I could do this too.
You got high heel shoes.
In the heels. Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Feet together. All right, Ken, I'd like to see you sit here and struggle, so I'm not going to read out. I'm kidding. If you want to learn more,
just breathe.
If you want to learn more about the Wounded Warrior Project, visit woundedwarriorproject.org. Dan, thank you so much. You were phenomenal.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan,
Paige,
Yes.
you're up next.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you guys at home how to build something for underneath here. A DIY tree stump stool. Right for under there. Come on back. Woo!
Wait for it. If you're stumped about how to spruce up your seating, Paige has it covered with her tree stump stools.
Wow. Very nice.
I laid it all out there.
You really did. I don't have a leg to stand on.
I would say so. By the way, keep tuned because later on we'll teach you how to log in to get information.
Wow.
On how to make it.
You know what, Mark? I think you should start branching out.
Anyway, you guys, have you seen those tree stump stools that look amazing, but they also look like they were from a 300-year-old tree?
Yeah.
So I love those, but they're really expensive, really heavy. So this is a way to do it very inexpensively. And look at this, very light, not heavy.
Very light.
Oh, you're not even seeing my muscles. Yes, very light. And it's so easy. You'll never guess what it's made out of.
What?
oh, my friend, the tube.
No.
These are the
those
forms.
concrete forms?
Yep, you can get them at any hardware store. It's the concrete forms, and they come in big sheets.
Big sheets, so you can make
just
a
cut it
couple of
down.
them.
Exactly.
Walk
yes.
us through. Walk
okay.
us through.
I got started a little earlier
Okay.
this morning, and you could see the inside too was just 2x4s.
Mhm.
So a typical stool is about 18 inches high. So you go all the way around because I'm going to be cutting this, and you want to make sure that it is even all the way around.
Yes.
So measure every couple of inches. Then I'm just connecting the dots there. I'm going to use a jigsaw. So what you do is just make a hole a little bit bigger than your blade on the side that you're going to throw away, because you don't want to make it any less than 18. So now I'm picking the middle of these 12-inch rounds, which are already cut for you at the hardware store. So you don't have to do any cutting there. You just need to find the middle. And these are technically my legs inside. These are 2x4s. And this is, I'm doing a little cheat here. I'm putting them on one side to make sure, and that's the other side. I'm just going to put it on there with a little glue. And that allows you to line it up from the other side.
Right.
And then just screw it into place. I just did 2-inch drywall screws, and then you can kind of see all the way around. So now I'm just adding a little glue to the outsides and then putting the form over it. It fits right over. And then for a little extra support, I put in just one screw on each one of
and it's thick cardboard too.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's really, really thick. But this is the fun part. And I don't want anyone to be afraid at home. I am using joint compound or drywall mud that you can get at any hardware store.
Yeah.
It's like $5 for a big.
Oh, and I love you did it with your hands. That's very satisfying.
Oh, it's satisfying. And if you guys can do, basically, if you can frost a cake, you can work with drywall mud. It's the same thing. Yes, and then putting it on with your hands. And all I did there, you can kind of get in close here with the screwdriver, is I just made lines.
Up and down.
Up and down, and don't think about it. Don't try to make them straight. Don't try to make them.
Just go.
Just go.
But because you're using drywall, this would take some time to actually dry.
Yes, it takes about 8 hours. Or I say just leave it overnight, come back in the morning and sand it down, that little end piece. I was just sanding it down so there weren't any pieces sticking out. Because your legs will be sitting here when we're done.
Right.
Okay, dokie. So now what you want to do, I've just taken some brown paint, I've watered it down a little, and you want to start this way. Do you see all those grooves?
Oh, I love it.
Yep, you just go all the way up and down, okay? Then, thanks to the magic of television, I have one painted already. So this is your bottom coat. Now, for your top coat, you want to pick a color that's a little bit lighter. I went with the gray. Kind of rub off, because this is paper here, I can do it right here, or you can do it on a piece of, like a sheet of paper.
Sure.
Then don't go this way. Go this way across. Do you see that? It's creating. It's allowing
so
those
nice,
lines
Paige.
down below to stay dark.
Yeah.
And this is, we're creating just bark on the
creating
outside.
depth.
How neat.
Yes.
So you can
depth in my bark. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So now I'm going to set this aside.
Now, what about the cushion? We have to have something to
The
sit
cushion.
on.
So this is, I just got another 12-inch round from the hardware store, and this is a stool cover. You can kind of see there. You can buy these for any stools you currently have in your house.
Really?
Yes, they come in 12 and 14 and 16 inches, so I got 12 inches, and then you just put it around.
Do they come in different colors as well?
They do, yep. Yep, I went with browns.
Obviously.
You know, we're doing a tree here. So,
but if you wanted them for something,
You want neon? No.
Right. I was thinking pink. No.
Yeah, you could, definitely.
Yeah.
So this is done for you. Doesn't
That's
it
it,
look
it's
like
over.
I totally orlied it?
Yeah.
Like sewed it? No, I didn't.
totally
Because I don't know
orlied
how to sew. So then it just sits right
in.
on top.
That's unbelievable.
There you go. And it's nice and
What?
sturdy. Yes, come have a sit down with me.
You know what I think?
my
Oh, I would love to sit.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Oh.
this stool's taken.
Exactly. I won't stand for it, Mark.
Okay.
I like it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Detailed instructions are available by visiting hallmarkchannel.com. I guess story time is not in my future.
Well, maybe. More from the family next. Come on back, everybody. Sit down. We'll read your story.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love those. Those stools would be great in a classroom for
They're
kids.
so fun. Yes. The one thing I didn't add that you might want to, especially around kids, add a coat of polyurethane around the end, because you think your feet are going to be with them, kids are going to be touching them. It'll make it nice and smooth. Let it sit for 24 hours.
Those are
done,
fantastic.
Paige.
They're fun.
A reminder, tomorrow is your last chance to fill out your Merry Madness Christmas bracket for a chance to win
$10,000.
That's right.
So easy, so much fun.
Plus, once you fill out a bracket, you can head on over to hallmarkchannel.com. And Monday, March 26th, to see the first results and then check back each weekday for the reveal of each round. I can't wait to see how much I beat you by.
Oh. More sunshine for you here tomorrow. Come on back. Bye-bye.
And hopefully we'll find you super soon.